Go over what is sometimes referred to as the death march, or at least for your posterior chain, it's going to feel like that. It's essentially walking RDLs. So if you've done one-legged RDLs, right, so one leg off the ground, you're going to hinge forward and then come back to the side view again. You're going to hinge forward, come back. It's going to be the same thing. The only difference is we're actually going to walk forward. So what that's going to do is it's going to keep the posterior chain loaded. So if I'm hinging back, right, if I push my hip forward, I'm going to keep all that tension on the posterior line, or essentially the back of your body. So I'm going to show you toe down version, and then once you get good at that, you can work on kicking the foot up. I don't want you worrying about balance plus strengthening in the beginning, or the endurance part of it. So keep the toe down, so it's going to keep the hip down. I don't want the hip to start opening up as you start fatiguing out. So what it's going to look like is this. Now you're going to start by taking a smaller than normal lunge step. So if I normal lunge step, you're going to take a big step. Here you're going to take a small one, and I'm going to hinge just like you would an RDL. There's no weight on this foot. It's just here for balance and to keep the hips closed off. You're going to push yourself forward to take that step, and again you're going to hinge forward. Again, there's no weight on this foot. You're going to push forward, come down. Again, come down, hinge forward, hinge, push yourself forward. So a couple things to notice and really pay attention to. When you take this step, I don't want to round my back to get into position. Okay? You want to stay up nice and tall when you take that step, and as you're hinging through, depending on how much flexibility you have in your hamstrings, you may have to bend a little bit more, or just don't go down quite so far, right? You don't want to have the knee locked out as you're doing all of this, right? So it's going to stay soft and hinge forward as far as you can. If you can go a little further, great, but I don't want that coming from the lower back. So take a step forward, plant that foot, hinge, keep the back nice and straight.